So, Bioshock is probably the best game ever made about running around the bottom of the ocean, shooting bees out of your hands and murdering little girls from magic sea slugs. Definitely top 5. And as much praise and love as the game gets, I feel like Infinite is a huge step down from the original. Take the weapon system for example. In Bioshock 1 and 2, you've got a weapon for every situation. You want to mash some faces in? Boom, there's a wrench. You want to snipe a guy from across the room? Boom, here's a crossbow. You want to just fuck up a whole bunch of people? Boom, here's a grenade launcher. Simple as. But, somewhat ironically, in Infinite, you're limited to carrying only 2 weapons at a time. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. In fact, most modern shooters work this way. But the upgrading system doesn't change to reflect the alternate mechanics, and so the whole game suffers for it. Now you constantly find yourself in this position where you spent all your money on upgrading your 2 favourite guns, which are the sniper and the hand cannon. Otherwise you're wrong. Only to find the enemies in the area don't carry that kind of weapon, so now you can't get the ammo for it, and you have to drop all your newly upgraded shiny guns for the shitty ones you find on the floor, like some kind of homicidal bum. I mean, it's not like the areas in the game are designed around using certain guns and that's why they're limiting your options. That much I could forgive, but nope, they're all just big old shooting galleries. Even without that incentive, the level design was way more engaging in Bioshock 1. Just look how you get the shotgun. So, the game gives you this close quarters weapon, right? And then tricks you into feeling claustrophobic by shining this light on you while the rest of the area is surrounded in darkness. This provides the perfect scenario to encourage the player to experiment with their new gun. You can't really see the enemy until they're right up in your face, which is the perfect range to kill them with one pam. And here's how you get the shotgun in Bioshock Infinite.
Elizabeth! Stay away from me!
Now, thankfully, Elizabeth is a really cool way to mix up the combat. She can open these tears that produce turrets and health packs and opportunities for environmental damage and stuff, and all that kind of shit wasn't possible. Oh, what's that? Oh, the other games did have ally turrets, health packs, and opportunities for environmental damage. And they were all implemented into Rapture organically instead of having to be individually summoned magically into existence. Oh. Well, moving along. Oh, so take a look at this part in Bioshock 1. You just got a new plasmid, right? You're feeling pretty good about yourself? Feeling pretty confident? Then FUCK! You walk into this room with a whole bunch of dudes just running at you. I mean, just fucking charging at you, head first. But hey, look at this. Since you can only have 2 plasmids equipped at this point, there's only 3 possible combinations for you to be walking around with. Boom, boom, and boom. So, you'll always have at least one of the 2 elemental plasmids on hand, right? Now, at the far end of the room, there's this leaking pipe, and at the other end, there's an oil spill. So if you've got Electrobolt, you can just fucking zap them when they run through the water, or if you have Incinerate, you can just set them on fire when they run through the oil. But now, you see there's this little side room that the bad guys can run through, so if you're too busy patting yourself on the back for murdering all them other bitches, you get a crack in the skull from a lead pipe because you weren't paying attention. Just like Catholic school. And, best of all, you didn't even need to tear any holes in the fabric of space and time to pull that shit off. You know, I think that's my big gripe with Elizabeth. Her powers are just presented in this way that make them look impressive, but they're really not. It's all just run-of-the-mill stuff that could have been easily integrated into the environments without the use of magic or whatever. And it wasn't always like this. Look at the demo, she's fucking badass!
Do it fast!
And now, here she is in the actual game.
That one.
There. I feel there's more where that came from.
How did we get here? How do we go from conjuring storms to summoning puddles? Infinite puts on this facade? Anyway, Infinite puts on this
facade
of innovation, but it doesn't actually do anything new. It just takes the stuff we've seen from the last games, tweaks it slightly, and then presents it as a brave new idea while adding nothing. It just does shit for no reason other than Bioshock did it, without understanding why Bioshock did it. The worst offender of this by far is the Vigors. In Rapture, the influence of plasmids can be seen everywhere, from the enemy design, to the environments, to the story, to blah 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 blah. Everything comes back to plasmids. And then in Columbia, they're just literal magic powers with no apparent negative side effects that are given away for free at carnivals, and no one seems to reference them or even acknowledge their existence. They're treated the exact same way as plasmids in an environment where plasmids don't make any sense. And this seems to be an issue specifically with Columbia. In the first 30 seconds of the Burial at Sea DLC, Booker uses the fire plasmid, or Vigor, or whatever the fuck we're calling them now, to light Elizabeth's cigarette. But in Infinite, no one seems to give a fuck about the plasmids, or Vigors, or whatever, aside from Booker, this one lady, and the Fury from Metal Gear Solid 3, I guess? So then what's their deal? They seem like they're fucking deranged, right? But then they also work for the police, I guess? So like, why don't the rest of the police use Vigors? Or anyone else for that matter? Oh, and another thing. Why do the professionally trained officers just behave like crazed drug addicts? Oh, sure, let's charge in a straight line or just fucking stand in the open with no regard for my own safety. I mean, it made sense when the splicers behaved like that because, you know, crazed drug addicts. And even they had the sense to run to a first aid station when they were injured. Put yourself in this position. So you've just witnessed a bloodthirsty madman and his sidekick, who you can only assume to be an actual, real-life witch, murder wave after wave of your friends and partners who you've spent your entire professional career working with. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm this guy, I'm like, fuck this. I'm going home to my wife and kids and doing literally anything other than being here. And while I'm still bitching about the enemies in this game, can we take a look at how dumb the handymen were implemented? I mean, check this out. So we learn everything about the big daddies on our first encounter with them. They protect little sisters, they're docile until provoked, and if you fuck with them, then... Now here's how we're introduced to the handymen. Ooh, a spoopy carnival attraction. Is this really your smart game for smart gamers? A game that doesn't even trust you not to fall off the city? A game that spends 30 fucking years holding your hand before letting you actually play the damn thing? A game that gives us... this?
That card.
You alright?
Don't get it. Think.
I mean, for fuck's sake, it doesn't even respect you enough to let you aim and throw a damn ball. In a game about aiming and shooting things, you'd think you'd be allowed to actually aim and shoot a thing. Not only does this miss out on some obvious let he is without sin cast the first stone imagery, what with Booker and Comstock being the same person, spoiler, but it also takes what could have been a tense and uncomfortable moment influenced by mob mentality and reduces it to this binary moral choice. If you just handed the player a ball and told them to throw it at the couple, I actually bet a lot of people wouldn't even think to throw it at the announcer instead. Like, how many of you threw the ball at the interracial couple? Not a goddamn one. And why would you? The game just presents you with these two obvious right and wrong options. At this point, the only reason not to throw the ball at the announcer is if you are literally a racist. And even then, it makes no goddamn difference. Now, I know the same criticism could be made about the choice of the little sisters in the first game, and that's fair. But at least the initial decision is compelling. Like, do you do what's morally right and receive less reward, or do you justify murder and give yourself a better shot at survival? Like, that's a tough choice, but once it turns out at the end of the day you'll get pretty much the same stuff no matter what you choose, that choice very quickly becomes, do you want to kill little girls? Now, Bioshock 2 hugely improves on this kind of decision. So you're given 3 characters with varying degrees of assholery, and you can decide whether you want to kill them or spare them as you see fit. And the game never takes control away from you, so you're forced to evaluate each situation without prompt and decide who's worth sparing and who to just fucking... yeah. If you were given just a spare or kill option, all the moral intricacies would have been lost and you're stuck with a good guy, bad guy, paragon, renegade choice that plagues the little sisters. So then why the fuck are we in the exact same position in Infinite again? Kill or spare Slate? What the fuck are you talking about? You just killed like 1 million dudes not 5 minutes ago, but now you're gonna draw the line? Now you're gonna take the moral high ground? The only reason you spared Slate, and I know you did, is because in that moment, all context is taken away and you were given a right choice and a wrong choice. The whole damn thing is a monument to compromise. It just... oh, hey, what is that? Quickfire round? Do we do those? Okay, I guess. How long do I have? Wait, starting now, or... oh, shit. Okay. So the skyhooks are boring. I mean, they only ever go in circles. You can't really do anything interesting with them. And hey, how come whenever you die, you just lose money? So the worse you're doing, the worse you're going to do, the worse you're going to continue to do? Hey, Booker, you like reading things and saying huh much? You fucking idiot. Why do you keep eating out of the trash? It's weird. You're a weird guy. You do weird things. Oh, and the whole ending makes no goddamn sense. And don't even pretend it does. I mean, how does... nuts. I didn't even get to talk about Songbird. Okay, well, I guess that's it for today. So, join us next time when our topic will be Tetris and 6 other sexist video games.